What's up, everybody? This is Dario Hunt from Living Life Fearless. Welcome back to another episode of our Fearless Show podcast. I believe it's our first one of 2021.
Hey, Happy New Year.
With me as
2021, we
always, my
here.
co-host, Mr. Darius Walker, aka Artist D Walker. Say what up to everybody.
How y'all doing? Welcome back. Artist D Walker here. Bringing in the new year with Dario to talk about a lot of dope shit. I'm glad to have you guys back. And thank you for continuing with us on this journey.
Yes, sir. So welcome to 2021. Happy New Year's, everybody. Happy holidays. Hope everybody had a good time and stayed safe and, ate a lot of good food and got good shit. But, it's been a few weeks into the year already and we've been busy, but we also want to circle back around to last year for our first podcast. And it's a big one. It's our top 25 albums of 2020. It's going to be our whole debate where we talk about, he has his list. I have my list. He had the nerve to question some of the stuff that I had on my list, which was insane considering I'm the one who knows music. Like, you know what I'm saying? So we got to get into it. So we're going to get into it. We'll talk about
the clipping, but Dario's crazy.
Talk about the official LLF top 25 albums of the year. And this year, we're actually going to try to rank everything for you guys from 1 to 25. We'll see how that goes. Not entirely sure how it's going to work, but we're going to do our absolute best. But before we get into all that, the year's already kind of started off with a bang. We got a lot of stuff going on. I don't know how things are looking out there in New York for you.
Oh man, New York is interesting right now, especially. This new year is very strange. It's one of a kind, and every day, every week, there's something interesting to look forward to, whether you know it's coming or not. But a lot of it we did know it's coming. It's just been really interesting how some of it played out.
Yeah.
I don't know what particularly we want to jump into off top, but
we'll just say, we have a new president starting the year out, and we had some interesting events leading up to that, inauguration,
the
whole Capitol situation and all that, which was
Capitol situation. Oh my goodness. So there was an organized rush, like I don't even know what you call this. This is the most confused I've ever been watching people storm a building.
It was like simultaneously like horrifying and comical at the same time. Like, because it was horrifying that they're doing this and like actually think that they're right to do this, and then
there was like the guards and like and cops taking pictures with the protesters at first.
For me, the people doing it weren't like the most horrifying. The horrifying part is, like you said, like the people who are supposed to be in charge of like security and like protect and serve, like policemen, ex-military, you have off-duty cops in the crowd, stuff like that. That's like that. I'll just say that America went full mask off for this one. They went full mask off. And I think if anything, I don't want to talk too much about it, but I think we can all agree that if that was thousands of Black people storming the Capitol, it would look a lot different. Can we just all acknowledge that now? Like, can we? Because even the ones that want to try to act like it wouldn't be, know damn well it would be. Like, there's no way thousands of Black.
To be honest, I'm surprised I didn't hear about hundreds of people injured. Like, there were some injuries, there were some fatalities, but
far less than
it was like they were trying to find a way to they would never do it. They would never, no matter how hard I go at them with violence, they should never kill me. Like, that's what they were thinking. Like, some of the audacity to threaten people's lives at work and think that you might not get killed. Like,
well, there was the one lady who got shot, and then there were some people who witnessed it were like kind of in shock that it happened, like appalled that it happened, like that they were somehow like she was murdered basically. And I'm like, well, wait, how do we get to this point? You know what I'm saying? Like what's
running at the gun? What happens? So we're running away from the gun, but they're running at them and they're upset about getting shot.
And not just at them, in the Capitol building of the United States of America.
Yeah.
So I don't want to get too far into it, but I think we can all just agree that it would look very differently if it was me and you rushing the Capitol.
All I have to say is that the media should start using terrorist more accurately as a word to describe certain situations.
Yes and no. Because the more you use terrorists, the more I think that they'll like put in type of like laws and actions in place to counter such terrorist acts, and that always
Yeah, but if they don't describe things that
would
are
come back
terrorist
to
as terrorist acts,
I'm
then
just
what's
hesitant because that would be used against a certain demographic of people.
Oh, you mean like rap lyrics?
I'm just saying, I think
Which also happened recently.
I think you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But on top of that, we also did get some pardons that I was very surprised by.
Oh my God, the pardons.
Kodak Black.
Dario, tell the people.
Kodak Black and Lil Wayne got pardoned by Trump on the last day of his presidency. So Lil Wayne, I'm not so surprised by because he was doing his whole sucking up to him, like playing the part basically before.
Yeah.
He got sentenced, or I don't even think he got sentenced yet, but whatever, before the whole situation really became more known. But Kodak Black, like how did that? Like how? Well, actually, I do know because they have the same lawyer, so I think that it was kind of a package deal. But the fact that Kodak Black got pardoned by President Trump is insane to me. Like, are you kidding?
Oh man, yeah, I was really confused, and then I saw apparently Joe Exotic put out a statement that he was too gay.
Said he's too innocent.
Like I was way too gay to get a pardon or something.
I will say, I believe Joe Exotic probably has a shakier case against him than Kodak Black. And yet Kodak Black is the one that gets pardoned. So I'm just saying it's very weird. This whole shit was fucking weird. This whole is weird.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, Trump was like in hiding for like a month and a half. Like as soon as it like set in that he was leaving, he basically made no public appearances.
Who do you think gets more play in the Trump household, Kodak Black or Lil Wayne?
Oh my goodness. I mean, what do you think Trump Jr. is playing?
I mean, they do be in Florida all the time.
He grew up on Lil Wayne though, so he probably
Florida all the time. I'm just saying.
I mean, Kodak though.
Look, I'm happy. I'm happy he's out, but at the same time, I'm worried that he's out because I'm
confused.
Like he hasn't. I don't feel like he just keeps making the same fuck ups.
Yeah, the exact same ones.
And he's been like getting off basically every time on very lenient situations, and this is the most lenient situation you can get off on.
Yeah. If you're pardoned, are you still on parole?
No, you're like done. Like basically, you're guilty. Like you admit you're guilty. They just basically just say we pardon the sentence, but you still admit that you're guilty. Basically,
I hope he doesn't play with that. Like I hope he just.
So I don't know if that's still like on your record as a felony or what, or you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. I don't know how that whole situation works.
He gets caught up again, like rescinded. Like what is it called? Recidivism.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about the situation. It's just weird. Trump pardons Kodak Black. You told me that last year. I'd be like, no fucking way. Like,
yeah,
not a fucking chance. But here we are. It's been
we are.
Fucking.
Here we are. Lots of crazy things.
Also, I gotta say, rest in peace, Hank Aaron, the legend, the man, myth, legend himself. He passed away.
Oh,
wow. I want to say the end of last week. Yeah, last week, or maybe the beginning of last week. He passed away. And I woke up this morning and Larry King passed away.
Larry King. Yeah, my
legend, Larry Legend, the real Larry Legend. So RIP to him.
He's inspired basically this too. Like, you know, like he's the king of
format for sure.
You know,
he's definitely one of the. He's a guy I've watched a lot of interviews that he's done, and it's just weird. It's gonna be so weird not seeing like Larry King live, you know, on TV.
Yeah,
because he's been there our entire lives, basically.
Yeah, forever. It feels like that's crazy, man.
Wow. 2021 has got off to a fucking bang. I can tell you that, man.
Yes.
You got that this year was going to be less wild than last year. I highly doubt that, and we're
Yeah,
fall.
definitely not.
But like you said,
Bitcoin's
we're talking about top 25 albums. So of 2020. So first of all, I want to ask you, what are your thoughts and opinions about the year 2020 overall in terms of music and the output that we got?
Mm. Well, our first thought, just like thinking about a top 25 of albums for 2020, the music that came out was all over the place, kind of, and it was like it trickled in, and a lot of big acts didn't really deliver or didn't put out anything. So it was like it was an odd year, honestly. But what was really cool was a lot of people took time to like experiment a little bit more. It sounded like some people really took the time to like refine the craft or reflect on the time that they're in a way that didn't seem like cliche, in regard to quarantine and all those other trigger words. It was more just a real life experience that they're digesting in their music. So I thought that was really cool as like sleepers, but it's not like what you usually stand out, which is dope. And I saw that in a lot of projects actually, like that we're gonna talk about, at least a couple, I'm sure. So but it was hard to like the standouts were like unique, honestly. The ones that stood out were I think a little bit more underground last year than now.
Yeah, so I was, reflecting on 2020. I was just like, I spent a lot of 2020 actually listening to a lot of older music actually than new stuff. So I felt like I was kind of not as much in the loop of what was currently out there. But then also, I didn't feel like there was that much moving on like a big scale for me to like have to tap into. Like I felt like I always come back to later and check out, what had come out the last couple of months and really kind of dig into all that. So reflecting back on 2020, at first I was like, I thought it was a down year, like another bad year of kind of music. But then digging deeper into it, like you said, like there was where all the big acts, I think, pretty much disappointed. Like I can't really think of one that actually delivered on what we thought it would to a full extent. I do think like a lot of the indie, particularly indie, like the indie music, the indie rock, the indie pop, like all these indie underground acts, I think they took the spotlight this year, like by far. And even though their projects might not have been talked about as much, they were by far doing the most interesting stuff and sound. And like you said, there were a couple projects that pop into mind immediately when you talk about how the sounds and everything kind of fit in with the time. There were some that I'm definitely going to talk about. And, and I think a lot of artists that we were probably looking forward to last year kind of ran away from the year, because there was a lot of stuff that was supposed to come out this year that didn't, probably for good reason, because a lot of the material that they probably recorded would feel out of touch with what was going on. Like the whole year was wild. Like it was, the whole quarantine thing. You got all the year long protests, all the social justice movements, all these other things that were going on that if you put out just like a party album or like, an anthem album, it just feels, and it did feel just out of touch and out of place to the moment and how everybody was currently feeling. So I think a lot of people ran away from the year for sure. And then I think the ones that did kind of come out earlier, they kind of got lost or drowned out by all the events that happened throughout the year. So it was a weird year, but I think it was a huge year in terms of like the indie acts and the indie artists. And it kind of felt like it went back to more towards that DIY type sound, DIY type music and approach to it, which is a good thing.
So honestly, it was kind of fun listening to music that maybe I wouldn't get a chance to like vibe with as much because all the big heavy hitters would be throwing stuff at me. Like if it was a regular year last year, I think like we would have got a lot more, major artist albums. But I think touring is involved in like releases and stuff.
That's a big part too. They would have missed out entirely on touring their whole album. And you could wait a year, I guess, to maybe tour off an old album, but that's never. You want to be right in that moment while
Yeah,
put
you
it
want
out.
the
So
music to be fresh. You want your audience to be excited about it, and
I
and
mean, we'll
making
talk more about this, I think, after, but like I'm definitely worried about like a Drake album right now. Like, how's that gonna kind of hit in terms
well,
of
he
the
pushed it.
environment? You know,
I mean, he pushed it, so we don't know when it's gonna come out. I don't remember what date it
he
was,
was
but
saying early 2021. I'm still like, I don't know.
yeah, he said January, but he said something happened, uh, either health wise. I think maybe he had surgery or something actually, but the album's not coming out this January.
Yeah, so there's a
Or
couple I want to talk about for this
maybe
year.
it's gonna come out on Valentine's Day because it's Certified Lover Boy. That might be slick.
We'll talk more about that for sure after this. But like I said, we're gonna do top 25. We're gonna get right into it. Yeah, so I just guess we will just go with the ones that we both kind of know that we agree on, first of all, because we're gonna kind of break this down as much as we can.
For sure. So the ones that we definitely, so we starting with like our A1s, right? The ones that we know for sure.
Yeah, there's some that I know for sure are gonna be locks on both of us. And I can just go ahead and start with one. It's gonna be Fiona Apple.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we talked about that.
Fetch the Bolt Cutters.
Fetch the Bolt Cutters is a dope album. Not the conventional style of like melody and whatnot,
Or
but
music, period.
yeah, that's right. Right. It's very raw and unique,
I will
even
say
for
that,
her own projects. So it's like that's why it's cool too, is because it's even different from what she's done in the past.
yeah, she had been away for like what, a decade?
Yeah.
And I guess she had been working on this project for like 5 years. And she just surprise dropped it on everybody. I want to say March, maybe around there, somewhere, March or May, somewhere around there. Kind of right in the middle of quarantine, or right at the beginning of quarantine, when people were first kind of starting to lock down and kind of come to terms with not being able to go out and being able to socialize and being isolated and all that. And even though she had been working on this album years before, it felt like she literally made this right when isolation happened, like all the quarantine, because like you said, it's so unconventional. She doesn't use normal instruments. Like she like recorded in her house, and she recorded sounds like of her banging on the walls, banging on surfaces, like using household objects to create this soundscape that she had
Yeah. It was so punk.
that
It was
fit like perfectly with the time that we were in. It was just so weird. Like it was like you couldn't have timed it any better. That there's no way she knew that this was going to happen, but the way that it came at the time that it came, it was like literally perfect timing in terms of the sound that we were going through, and for everything else. And the subject matter itself was also dealing with like isolation and kind of Fetch the Bolt Cutter means like cutting the fence around yourself basically, and like kind of opening up and dealing with that, those feelings of being of loneliness, and dealing with like Me Too stuff, like all this other stuff that just culminated at the perfect time. It was weirdly timely.
Yeah, no. Awesome album. So that's definitely on both of our lists. So I'm gonna just put a star next to the ones that we got both of. A second one that I know is definitely on both of our lists, because it's definitely in both of our wheelhouses. Probably one of our favorite albums of the year, even Freddie Gibbs' Alfredo.
Mm-hmm.
That rap album, even though for me personally, I think it's maybe his second best album.
Second best.
Huh?
Behind Bandana.
Yeah. Yeah, Behind Bandana.
And that's a very high bar. So that's not really
sick. And Bandana's amazing. And it didn't get the credit it deserved.
Yeah, we talked about this on our Grammy episodes, that they did it for like another album. I forget which one it was, but they awarded their second best album the year after they dropped their best album. Like, you nominate their second album when really it was last year. It was the one, the masterpiece that should have been acknowledged for it fully. But It's dope to see it get recognized. And it did a lot. It did a lot on the mainstream too. Like it kind of broke through on that side of things. Like he really his trajectory as an artist has been impressive to see that he, despite everything, he's still like considered like top tier through everything.
I mean, his glow up. Honestly, I feel like he's had kind of like a glow up. His last 2 years have been like just up. I feel
I'll
like
say
it's
three or four, like because it's been a build.
it's been a build, but he definitely started gaining more momentum. Is what I mean. Like
Yeah,
like the curve started to like get steeper because he was going up a little bit faster.
his features is going up. I mean, he was almost basically his career was
He's on
almost ruined.
everybody's song too.
That's
Like
what I'm saying. Like
was
his
crazy.
career was almost ruined, and now he's like on everybody's song that wants somebody that can rap. On their
Yeah.
songs, he's on there. Like
On our other favorite rap artists albums, he's on there and shit. Like
yeah, every single one
everywhere.
except for one.
Yeah, not every single one, but most of them.
Yeah. Yeah, so definitely Freddie. Another rap one I know for sure is Nas, King's Disease.
Yup.
That's a way to break back in after I'll say conflicted album with Kanye.
Mr. West. Yes, indeed. The album that we all wish we had from Kanye, but didn't get. Kind of came with King's Disease.
And it came from, again, working with one producer. And this producer has, which another conversation we're going to have is he's doesn't get necessarily the acknowledgement that he should, but he is definitely putting out some of the best work over the last year or two. And this year alone, like he might be producer of the year in terms of projects he's put out. Hit Boy.
Yeah, in the whole industry, he's doing a lot. And I think he just got sort of his persona, I guess, was that he was like this really like boom bappy kind of hip hop producer. So people didn't really know but new age, so like more poppy. So they didn't really know his like ability to like create a different sound that wasn't just like something that's his. So like when other stuff came out, we didn't know that was like if I didn't know going into these albums that he produced it, I'd be like, wow, this production's amazing.
Yeah, and he made a modern Nas fantastic album that captures what Nas is, but still like brings it up to the time of now where no matter what generation you're, you can listen to it. And he made a like Nas song with was it Lil Durk on there?
I think so.
Yeah, well, it is. With Lil Durk, Big Sean, Fivio Foreign. Okay. Like you want to think
that song I thought was gonna be trash when I saw the names, and it was dope. That's one of my top 5 songs on the album actually now.
Yeah, I was very shocked, and he delivered. He delivered what you want from a modern Nas album by far.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when you grow up listening to a rapper like that, like Nas, like I remember going to the store and buying the Nas Godson CD, I remember going, like I remember doing that stuff back in the day.
Yeah.
So like getting this album now, it's like, wow, it's crazy.
So dope. He's definitely on there.
Let's see.
There's a few more I know for sure on there, but
yeah, I think we both have Haim, Women in Music.
Part 3 for sure.
Yeah.
By far one of my favorite albums of the year and one of the most surprised by, I guess. Like I've always liked them, but I never considered them like top tier in terms of like bands and like creativity and like sound. Yeah. I thought they had great songs, but nothing like that was like groundbreaking. Or kind of
like leader,
like
they're like the forefront of something kind of thing. Like their sound always seemed developing to me, or like or just like the level underneath like superstardom sounds, just like full thought out production and album making is like a different thing. And this album this time was like holy like whoa, production level. On everything, visuals, their vocal arrangement, the content of the songs, everything was dope.
Yep, and like I said, it was a huge surprise for me because when I see like Women Music Part Three, and I'm not super familiar with Part Two and Part One, I guess
Hmm.
I kind of looked at it as like almost like it was a throwaway project for them. But then I was like, let me check it out, and it was anything but. It was by far their best body of work to me that they ever put out.
Yeah. No, I think when people do work like that, especially when it's like their best, that they should definitely get the praise for it. So, um, shout out to Haim.
Also, I'm pretty sure these three are all going to be on our list, so I'm gonna just go ahead and throw them out there. All of Griselda.
Olive Griselda. Wait. I had too many. I took off uh what's his face?
Don't
West
tell me you
Side
took off
Gun.
West Side.
I took off West Side Gun.
Oh my
I
god,
swapped West Side Gun. And that look, I had
bro!
to. The list is too long.
West Side, like, look off
I
top.
had to dock him because it felt like a posse album.
Look off top. I'm be like, yeah, okay, West Side, the Weak Link, whatever. But if you go and listen to these projects, West Side, he makes an argument for having the best project out the whole three of them, bro.
I know. It's a toss up every time I listen to one. Honestly,
I'm like, oh, this is the
Freddie
best
is my
one. Then I go
favorite.
listen to Conway. I'm like, nah, this is the best one. Then I go listen to West Side. I'm like, nah, this is the best one, bro.
When I heard Benny's, I was like, nah, Benny's the best. Benny's the best. And then I was like, oh shit, Conway. Oh my God. This Conway. Oh my God. This is the best rap album all year. And I was like, wait, this Alfredo is crazy. Like I can't, this is front to back. So
And Freddie is on
that,
all three of these albums, by the way.
that Conway is but yeah, nah. And the only reason I did that is because I had a
Pray for
different
Paris is fire.
man, I had a different rapper. So I have Benny and Conway, but I had to take off Machine. I had to take off West Side.
All right, we're gonna circle back to West Side because that
All
West
right.
Side
So I'm
crazy
gonna put a
too.
star next to Conway and Benny.
Kanye and Betty for sure out there, but I
But
don't know, bro. That West Side was crazy too.
West Side's on my in my bottom of the list as like maybe. So I'll still have him on here as maybe, but we'll see.
Ooh, hey, people, go listen to all three of them again and just tell me like which one is yours. Like which one's your favorite? Because I guarantee it's gonna
I
change
actually interested in
every
that too.
time you listen to it.
It's hard to tell, honestly. No, I love the West Side album. I'm not saying it's not a dope album. I'm just saying, thinking about the artist West Side Gun, I know it's almost like voting for a Diddy album. Even if the album is amazing, that's not really what he wants to do.
Okay, would Dr. Dre be on there? Yes, he would. What type of argument is that? Like Dr. Dre would
Hey,
1,000% be on the
hey,
top of the list.
hey, put some respect on Dre's name. Wish him good health. He just had a brain aneurysm and
Facts.
he just got back home.
You almost
So
lost another one. That'd have been crazy.
yeah.
That would have been devastating, bro. I grew up on him.
He said he was working on detox again, but we'll see.
I'm not trying to hear none of that talk.
Anyways, uh, yeah, we'll circle back to West.
Yeah, we're gonna circle back to West for sure.
Because right now we got 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 6 already out of our top 25. So that means we got 19 picks left.
And there's some that I'm not like. I know what I've heard. I don't know everything you've heard. And like I said, this is a very weird year, so there's not a lot of top projects to go to from big names, but there are a lot of indie ones, and I'm not sure how much you come across.
Oh, if you pick the top, if you pick your top out of the indie, then I got them on my list. It's
Okay,
just,
Salt, Untitled
oh
is
yeah, oh yeah, that's on my list.
Untitled, Black is and
Black
Rock.
is, yeah, Untitled album, Black is.
I'm just putting both of them together. I'm combining both of those albums together.
You have to. It's just, I mean, it's not cheating, you guys. That's real. They just go together. So, yeah.
Okay, so we have Salt. I also have Kia, Forever Your Gal, Your Girl.
Yeah, that album.
Surprised
The vocals on that.
I know. Like,
I put that on and was like, what? Where have you been? This is amazing. And then it was like hard. It had some like ghetto aesthetics to it, but the vocals were crazy. And like I was just like, all right, there's no way. I have to give her like her props. Forever Your Girl.
People, I already know a lot of people have slept on this album this year. I did for a while myself. But if you love hip hop and you love like real hip hop, and if you love like Rhapsody and like lyricists like that and like female artists that talk about something,
yeah,
go listen to Keya, Forever Your Girl, Keya, capital A, Forever, comma, Your Girl. You will not be disappointed.
Trust
Fire.
me.
Out of everybody, here's another conversation, a couple conversations we're gonna have to have. Like Chicago rap, outside of the mainstream drill scene, has been puts out a lot of like dope, thought provoking shit, bro. Like in terms of hip hop, like real hip hop,
like real hip hop, yeah.
They've been putting out some fire from the young up and coming acts they have.
I mean, they've always had a couple creep out of there that were like, kicking that knowledge, but like they never. Kanye was probably the only one really that came out of there like that. Like there's like, Mick Jenkins was kind of like that. But Common, yeah. Who is it? I'm not even gonna go into it before I forget. But yeah, there's definitely a few. But like now,
Saba. Saba.
There's some fire. Saba. Yeah.
There's like definitely a Chicago soul to like.
Is Polo from there? Is Polo Chicago?
I don't know.
Polo G?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. They got some.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think so.
I mean, but Little Durk is coming up, and he's glowing up right now. He's kind of the leader up there.
I'm not a huge Durk fan, or I'm liking more of his stuff and more of his features, but
I just like that he came out of the underground.
There's something going on in Chicago right now, like right below Surfers. There's something like really bubbling, and they've been putting out some heat.
He's going to be best new artist in 2 years. Like,
I've been around since we were like freshmen in college. Yeah.
Yeah, best new artist, Chief Keef. Like what?
Yeah, Chicago rap crazy right now. That album was phenomenal, and again, there was kind of this conversation at some point in the year when like all this social awareness, black empowerment was kind of coming towards the forefront.
Yeah.
And there were some of our favorite rappers kind of got called out for not being around. But the black women in hip hop, they held it down on that front. Like,
yeah.
They didn't disappear. They didn't like go away for 12 months and not say nothing, not put nothing out, not, create anything from this.
Well, you know what's interesting?
Hold on, there's some fireworks going on around me, but
what's crazy though is that is also true. But then there's one guy who is a rapper who I know isn't on your list, whose album I love, and he's on my list. So I'm just gonna put him out here as an argument to see, because he's why I didn't have Westside on my list. You ready? Toby and Wigwe.
I didn't hear the project.
You didn't hear it?
I didn't hear the project.
Oh, that Toby and Wigwe project is so dope, man. You have to. So everybody, I don't know if you're familiar with this guy. He's Nigerian born, but Houston, Texas, born and raised. Well,
wait. No. I've heard the project.
You probably heard a couple songs.
You talking about the Pandemic Project?
Huh?
Is the Pandemic Project?
No. Well, actually, probably, but it's not. The album's not called The Pandemic Project.
Because there's one he put like all his pandemic stuff into one, so I don't know if it's that one.
Yeah, no, he did it. He does a couple of things because he's indie. He just like he has his own thing.
I mean, probably heard. Actually, I probably heard 90% of the songs then.
Yeah, but like Truth and Eat and Cujo, all those songs are flames. And you know,
I will give you
like
that. He did hold it down for the men on in that terms of, you know, awareness and black empowerment and black, you know, in terms of the hip hop side for sure.
yeah. So I mean, he kind of had a presence and a little bit of a glow up. So for me, I thought
He
with
had a
his presence
phenomenal year, phenomenal
and
run. The
his
visuals are
features,
spectacular.
he has Sci-Hi the Prince. He got Sci-Hi the Prince outside. Like that's why I was like, dang. With Bun B, Bun B and Sci-Hi and the Prince are on the same song with him.
Here's what I will say: it's dope. But if I'm gonna throw on something I want to hear, I'm going to the West Side album. I'm sorry, like I'm
Because
still
I heard that
still
shit
gonna play on
nuts.
that West Side album.
I be putting on that Toby. I can't even hold you. That
That
Toby.
last track, when he's tap dancing on the beat, what? Come
Damn,
on,
that song is lit. That's one
what?
of my favorites of all time. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. But then again, if I listen to that Toby, oh my God. I listen to Toby songs every day too. I can't lie. I'm just
I don't
saying.
know. For me, I like him. I do. I like his visuals more than
I
I
think he
like.
had a bigger year than
I
Westside.
like his visuals more than I like his songs.
Ah, but he's
Like
definitely really good
the
at visuals.
visuals combined with the songs, amazing. But if I was to just hear just the songs by themselves, I wouldn't love them as much as I love like the songs
The
on
West
Paper.
Side vibe in the yeah, I feel you.
I don't feel like they do anything visually groundbreaking.
Mm.
Like soundscape wise, very traditional to me. Like I've heard that type of production, that type of, you know, sound before, and it just felt like more kind of the same.
Word.
But the visuals, I think it took it over the top.
Okay. That was my only knock though too, is because I felt like I was getting Griselda out, and I had to pick my favorite
I
Griselda
know,
member.
but Griselda's on a tear right
All
now.
three of them, like you can't just pick every member in the group because they killed it. Like
Why not?
why not?
All right, I'll put it this way. So the year that G Unit came out, right?
Huh?
So the year that G Unit came out, right?
Yeah.
We got a
Okay.
G Unit album. We got a 50 Cent album, a soundtrack album. We
Yeah.
got Buck out first album, and we got Banks first album. You're gonna tell me they're not making the list? They were for sure making the list those years.
That's hard.
Yeah,
That's
knock them
hard.
for being like the top of the game. If you had the top right now, you at the top. And
That's
Griselda got the underground
tough.
on lock right now.
Dang, that's tough. That's a good point.
Just
All right.
just because they're more related doesn't mean you know that you can't. If you
Those
put out the
projects
heat, and
are
you
so
put out
good.
the heat, and I'm sorry, they Griselda by far out of any underground
That
independent
tap dancing on
rapper,
the beat shit is so fire. I can't believe you brought that up. That's
bro. That I put that on repeat over and over, bro. It's fire, bro.
when I first
That
heard that
dancing
in
on that joint.
headphones, I was like, "Whoa, run that back!"
Run that back again, bro.
Yeah, nah, you right. That's why I said it was a maybe because I was thinking because I went all the two. I was like, I got two already. Let me pick somebody that's not Griselda. So that's why I was trying to get Toby in there.
Look, at first I was like you, and I was like, My first thought is West Side, probably gonna be out of there. Like I love West Side, but in terms of artists, not on that level as the other two. Even he would admit it.
Well, let me
But
ask
then
you
I
this:
was like, let me throw this on again real quick. I was like, nah, there's no way I can leave this off. No
That's
way.
funny. There's a
I
couple
can't
other
put his
artists.
debut album on there. Who Made This Sun or something like that, whatever.
Yeah.
Not as good as Pray for Paris. Pray for Paris is phenomenal.
Yeah, Pray for Paris is dope. All right.
So we got Salt, we got Kia. I mean, at top of my list, I'll have Fontaine's DC, A Hero's Death. I don't know if you have them on there.
Oh, you got Fontaine. That's right. You did have the Fontaines. A Hero's Death is a really good album.
Very good. One of the best rock albums of the entire year.
I definitely would say. Yeah, no, you're right. It's fairly grungy. I like it. I like it. It's like stripped back and classic and new at the same time.
It's the most rock album I think of this year. Like it's actually
Yeah.
good. Like if you look at the Grammy nominations, you'd be like, "What? Those are rock?" Like no, they're not, bro. Like
Yeah.
this is rock. Like this is it.
Hero's death for sure. All right. One, two.
Another one, Lido Pimienta. We already talked about this a little bit. Miss
Oh
Columbia.
yeah. Lido Pimienta. Oh my God. Miss Columbia, that album. Talk about vocals again. But not just the vocals, the like, I don't know, just like authenticity in the
That's definitely the
creativity.
word. She doesn't hide her background or who she is, where she's from. Like it's very much at the forefront of what she does musically, and she delivers it in a way that doesn't compromise like any of the authenticity of where she's from for, you know, more plays or more spins or whatever. But then also found myself replaying a lot of the songs over and over again. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I watched a couple of interviews, and she's a very interesting character. For one, you definitely have to watch the interview to hers if you have not.
No, I haven't seen any interviews.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
no,
check that out.
you would like her for sure.
Her albums like
She kind of defines it as
crazy.
like industrial reggaeton, which is
Oh,
a way how
it,
to describe the first half of the album for sure.
yeah, yeah, like songs like
Nada.
Nada, No Puede, Pude, whatever it was. That's all I remember off the top of my head. But yeah, no, her just creativity in just like how she sounds. It's lit because it's just like beautiful to listen to. But then she got like almost like a hip hop kind of bounce. It's dope. It's dope.
It's very hard to describe if you had not heard it, and it's all in Spanish.
Yeah.
And it didn't even matter because I enjoy listening to it so much. So,
Facts.
and it's another one. If you watch the visuals are next level too. So, this was one of the biggest surprises of the year for me was Lido.
Yeah, she came out of nowhere for me. I didn't know about her.
Yeah, I did. I had no idea about her till I kind of just stumbled across the project, and I heard
I saw
Nada.
like a really colorful music video and was like, "What is that?" And then just kind of watched it. It was like a change. I don't know. It was weird, but I was
I heard
probably
Nada,
watching some
and I
other
was like,
music.
"What am I listening to right now? This is this is fire." I had to go
Yeah, I
back.
like that. I love that feeling when you hear something like new. You're like, "Oh, this came out. This what? How? Like this is crazy." So that's a
So
cool new artist.
we're gonna stay in the Latin lane. This is a person you were very high on. Me, not so much. But look, I'm gonna put him to the list. I'm gonna add him to the list just off of the year that he had, because I can't deny the massive year that he had as an artist, specifically as a Latin artist in mainstream.
Insane to cross over like that and still not really talk English like that much. Like
But still, my personal list, not making it. But for our joint list, in respect to the insane year he had and being like the first Latin artist to cover was a Rolling Stone or something like that, like he had a bunch of firsts.
a bunch of firsts.
First.
McDonald's deal.
Crazy to think about all these massive Latin artists that have come throughout the years.
Yeah.
Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny. Like, all I gotta say is just on a poppy sort of like, because at first when I first seen his image, I just thought he was like a goofy dude. Like I was just like, what's up with this guy?
Like a
Like
watered down Daddy Yankee?
yeah. Like I thought he was like basically like I thought he was just trying to do that in like in like a funny, goofy way. Like I thought that was like, oh, I'm gonna do, like the you know, like Chata linda, but in my new way, like Chata linda, like with a big smile, like that. So I was like, oh, that's probably his character. But then when I went to look him up and actually watch his stuff, I was like, I just found his visual album basically and just started watching each music video like an episode and was like, almost blown away. And I was just like, what? And then I started listening to the music a little bit more, like seriously, basically. And it was really good. Like he's really, really fucking talented. So, you know, not for nothing, he's kind of breaking doors down for you know, Latin artists and just being different. So I think
out of respect for the insane year he had and all the first and all the other nods and everything else, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
he makes the list.
Okay,
but it's also crazy to think that he's the first of all these when you have like J-Lo and Daddy Yankee and all these other massive Selena and all these other massive Latin artists before him. Like, yeah. This is the one. Like, okay, whatever, bro. Like, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. I know. For real. So that's what, 11?
We had 11.
You probably.
I have Tame Impala.
Tame Impala, yeah. Slow Rush.
You already know is one of my favorite albums to come out this year. So
I put that on all the time. That's in my playlist steady.
It's one I can literally just throw on and just let it go.
Absolutely. No matter what time of day.
It's just the perfect vibe. Like I don't really know how to explain it other than that. It's just the perfect vibe. It was a weird vibe. I think it would have been better if this pandemic didn't happen. I think it would have been better, like, you know, more, his legs would have been longer, but
yeah,
just a great vibe in general.
For sure.
Which also brings me to another one. I don't know. I'm not sure if she's on your list, but she's definitely on mine. Charli XCX.
Well, she's in my 25 in the bottom. Yeah. I mean, yeah, she's on my list.
And I say that because another one I was like very surprised about. Like I've never been a huge fan of her. I've tried to.
Very skeptical. Yeah.
I've really tried to. It just felt like, you know, like an industry plant type of BB Rexa type industry plant artist. You know, just another one of those. Like, all right, yeah, industry definitely pushed you very hard to be, you know, this thing that just never really been it. Like your name, I feel like has been bigger than her music itself. But
yeah.
This one she made in home during quarantine.
Right.
And it shows, and it's not corny in any way. And like, it's actually really, really good songs. And like, it kind of opened you up to
kind of what we were talking about at the top of the episode when we were saying like certain artists who like soaked in this time and reflected on it. I think I was talking about like her more specifically, you know, and like maybe one other artist, but yeah.
She definitely was at the forefront when we were talking about that because she somehow managed to make a quarantine album that is really good and doesn't sound corny or cliche or forced in any type of way. And like she even has like a party number on there where it's talking about like just partying by yourself basically at home that like hits, you know, like it just works. And then like I think it opened up a side of her that didn't feel so produced. So like, you know.
Yeah. That was the joy actually of listening to some of this music was like how artists didn't feel so overproduced. I have an artist on my list that I know you're going to be confused that I actually think they're good enough for the list. So
all right, let's hear it. I want to hear this one.
Yeah, you ready? We can go right into that one.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Let me just start by saying I never thought I would actually listen to this artist.
We already tried to preface his choice. Look at this.
Well, because I was shocked as well that I was choosing it.
I was about to be some bullshit. Let's go.
No, it's not. It's not bullshit because it's probably this artist's best work. And once again, like I said, they should get praise for it. Taylor Swift, Folklore.
Like I already knew where this was going. Like
I know, that's what I'm saying. I never thought I would actually listen to Taylor Swift and not think Taylor Swift. But wow, she actually pulled together some really good music. And I was really shocked. I was like, what? This can't be Taylor Swift. Who is this?
She's going to my maybe. We gotta throw her into the
I'm
maybe.
telling you right now, her album is crazy. The way
I've
she
heard
ends
the
that album
album.
is nuts. Those are like some of the best songs she ever wrote. I swear to God.
I've heard the album, and I just thought Taylor Swift, like
I know, but still, those last few songs. What was that? The Tears. Shit, I gotta look up my album. Shit, her shit was
my man's
crazy.
a Taylor Swift
That
fan.
that one song called Peace was crazy. But yeah, nah. I just think that I knew that one wasn't iffy for you, but I just think her album was like surprisingly good.
Look, it was iffy for me because yes, it is good, but it's also like okay, and also like it gets an also nod because it is. You also have to take. We also got to take into account how big it was and how big it did, and like all this other blah blah blah. So the same reason Bad Bunny was it was a maybe for me is the same way that Taylor Swift was a maybe.
I'll put Taylor next to Westside for now.
Now, who you gonna listen to more, Taylor Swift, Folklore, or Westside Gun, Paper Paris?
That's too funny. In my casual day today, Westside. If I'm painting something about something sad, I might put some Tay Tay on. You never know.
Hey, everybody, go throw on.
If I'm working on the wings behind me,
Gun,
I might put some Tay Tay on. You never
Lay know. Doliba, the last track off of Pray for Paris, and y'all come back.
Oh yeah.
But all right, she's a maybe. Since we've been talking about a couple pop albums, I got one more for you. Halsey, Manic.
Oh yeah, that one came up at the top of the year.
It got slept on hard, very hard, because it came out at the top of the year.
Weird. Yeah, like it was like Clementine, I think might have been one of the first songs.
It hit really hard when it first dropped, and then obviously, like I think it was just a victim of everything else.
Yeah, but it was like, wow, Halsey did that because once again, this is a situation where
kind of like Charlie XCX for me. Like, yes, she has talent, but is it talent or is it more industry push? And she never really broke through for me. Like she always felt like she was close, but she was always like second tier, kind of like Charlie and Haim for me from this year.
Right.
But then she kind of did the thing that I think more mature artists kind of tend to do is that they go a little more introspective and like actually talk about something real for them, and it comes through in their music. And that's what she did here.
Yeah. No, for sure. And I think her album's better than Charlie's.
Yeah, I would say that. And she got legit hits on there. And I'm very surprised it didn't
like big songs.
Like when I was on the Grammys, I fully expected her to get some noms on there, but I'm like, wait, it's weird. This is easily one of the best pop albums to come out this year.
Absolutely.
I just think it got slept on so hard because it came out like January, which is a weird time to drop anyways.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, no, she's on my list too.
Halsey, Manic. Pretty sure The Weeknd is on both ours.
Oh, for sure.
You probably like the album more than I personally like it, but it's still a good album, like a very good album.
The album's a vibe.
Very good to great album.
I think it's better than a couple of his albums, to be honest. Like,
I think for me, it's just hard to compare. Like when you get that big and you have bodies of work that are like as good as some of his are, it's always going to be, even though I'm not intentionally trying to, it's going to be compared to like your best bodies of work.
Yeah. I mean, you can't beat House of Balloons. How do you top House of Balloons?
You can't. Like, you literally can't.
There's no one in the world will ever top House of Balloons.
The whole trilogy, you can't. Like,
the trilogy is insane.
It's untouchable at this point.
Is like the most amazing like music movie of your ears. Like you just hear that shit the first time.
It created a whole like genre of like alternative R&B. Like spawned that whole Bryson Tiller Black category. Like,
remember when nobody knew who The Weeknd was?
Yeah, that was a mystery. It's a great mystery. Now
Yeah,
he's
nobody's seen his face when he
one of
first
the
came
world's
out.
biggest pop stars.
That's
I
so
mean, for me, like the album, I think what he did really well was that he did manage to kind of move a little bit back towards that sound, that like moodier, darker sound, while still like putting out big pop hits.
yeah, I
Because his
like it because
last
he
couple
went
albums,
back
he
toward
went
it.
full pop, and it was like, all right, this is cool, but it's not like what we love you for,
Yeah, yeah. Certain albums were way too full pop, and I was just like, "Ugh, give me some of that grit."
So yeah, this is definitely. I mean, it's just hard. It's hard when you put out like some work like that trilogy, bro. Like you got to come with some heat, like some super heat.
Yeah,
Like I said, it's one that I think that when it first came on, it like really hit really hard, and then I think it diminished a lot faster than people would have expected it to, except for like one or two songs that stay in rotation.
true.
He's trying to keep it going with his whole new video with the whole new face and all that shit.
Right. Yeah.
I just don't think it's I don't think he's ever captured the zeitgeist like he did at the beginning.
Mm.
It's gonna be hard. I mean, it's the struggles of success. You know what I'm saying? Like the struggles of success.
Right.
Not everybody can be Michael, man. Hey, not everybody, hey, Michael gave you hit after hit after hit. Like we're like how can you top this? Well, what?
You can't, for real. I remember when people used to try to hate. Sorry, you just can't. It
Off the
sounds too good.
wall thriller. Like, come on, man. Like Invincible. Like
Even Michael's last album that everybody thought was trash was really good. Like,
talking about the one that they put together or the one that he would like.
the one that he did when he was still doing the music video and stuff.
Invincible.
Yeah, I
Yeah, no,
think
I
that
like
was.
that album a lot. Like a lot.
Yeah, that one's like really underrated.
It kind of inspired the entire Justin Timberlake type of sound.
Facts.
After that
Yeah.
whole pop R&B crossover thing happened, that was literally what inspired that whole wave. So
Yeah.
not everybody can be Michael. I know he loves Michael, but not everybody can be Michael, man. Like,
Yeah.
all right, so we got the weekend, Halsey.
All right. So this one well, I think they're on your list. I was iffy at first, but then I had to go back to the album again. And they kind of remind me, I don't know. They're just having a really great year. A better year than almost any other artist, really. Phoebe Bridgers.
Yeah, she's on my list.
She's had a crazy year.
She's gonna pop. She's to indie rock what Billie Eilish is to indie pop.
Exactly. And that's why I was afraid. I didn't want to listen to her at first because I was like, oh, I see what you're doing, and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like that, but it's good. And this is like, and I thought she was like young and like new, but she's actually like, I think like 3 projects in or something.
Yeah.
So
But
like,
she's awarded for what, best new artist or something like that still.
Yeah. I thought she was like mad young or something, but she's actually like older. So
like 20. I won't say the age, but I know she's like mid-20s, I think.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, she's not like I thought she was younger than Billie Eilish or something. Like I thought she was like maybe like 16 or something. I was like, oh. And then I saw her and I was like, oh, okay, nah. I can take you more serious because you probably wrote your songs then or had a lot more.
She's got like a really young look too and like aesthetic, so.
Yeah.
And she's doing the whole retro 90s thing, which is kind of becoming the new retro for kids.
Everyone's doing it. Honestly, there are way too many retro albums this year too, to be honest.
I'm just like, for us, it's weird because that's not retro for us. Like,
yeah, I'm like, what is this?
I was like,
why
fucking 90s are retro, bro.
Yeah. If it's not great, it's not good. Sorry.
Yeah, she's on there. Like I said, she's definitely the Billie Eilish of like indie rock and like that whole kind of emo
1000
wave to it, like that internet emo wave thing, whatever she's got going on. And she definitely is pushed. She's definitely getting that industry push right now. She's that it girl.
If you don't have her skeleton sweatpants, you should cop, lady.
So yeah, she's definitely on the list. Not very high on my list, but she's on the list.
Yeah.
Bridgers.
And another thing, she popped up on other people's projects. Like I think she was on Kid Cudi's album as a
Mm-hmm.
feature, and then and because that came out after the Grammys thing, so then I like heard her more elsewhere too,
I
which made me.
know Cudi. I wish I could put Kid Cudi's project on here, but
I haven't brought him up yet because
I can't.
I liked half of it basically, and a lot of it brought me back, but then I just haven't really gone back as much as I thought I would.
He's never been able to fully capture what he basically started, and then he's also never been able to like take it to the next level completely.
Yeah, I know it's weird.
It's kind of frustrating because he's still like one of my favorite artists. It's just like I don't love.
I mean, he gave us some great music on that album. On
Yeah, there's some really great music, but none that like
transcend like
yeah,
that first
it
one.
doesn't even like match what he's done before. So it's like
yeah, that's true. There isn't. I couldn't even say there's like one big song that stands. Well, there is one song that stands out, but that's a feature song. Other than that song with Pop Smoke on it, and the other songs are like typical Cudi.
Typical
And
Cudi. That's exactly how I felt. Typical Cudi. His best project he's put out was with Kanye West.
You talking about Kids See
See
Ghosts? That's his like second best project.
I'm talking about recently.
Oh, yeah, true. I mean, because he was throwing out a lot of stuff. I'm not gonna get into Cudi, but
You're talking about Passion Pain isn't on there?
Slade? Nah, fam, not for me. I mean, there might be one or two songs, maybe, but other than that, on that
like 30.
That's what I'm saying. Passion play, nah. I fucked with Wizard.
I fuck with Wizard heavy.
That was my shit.
Teleport to be Jamie. That's my shit.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. That whole album.
So no Cudi, all right.
So yeah, he's I guess not a maybe anymore since we kind of talked that one out.
Yves Tumor, Yves Tumor, Heaven.
Oh, that dude, the like wild Prince inspired guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he is. He just that's what I
mean, isn't everybody at this point?
Yeah, but he's like really doing it like that though. Like it feels like what Prince might do if he was a young guy listening.
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely wild, and he's all over the place genre wise. Like again, like it's pretty much there's no genres anymore. Like kind of black music.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to explain his sound. Soul, funk, pop, rock, R&B. Like it's a mix of everything, but it just works. Like I don't really know. It just works really well.
True. He's on my list, so I'm not gonna debate it. He was like definitely appreciated what he was doing, and it sounded great because there were things where I was like, oh, I wish he would do something like this with his vocal, and then he would do that in a different song. So I'd be like, oh, okay, this guy's just like really, like wildly different. Like he holds back and does things completely a specific way here, and then does it differently here with like a type of approach.
You will not get bored listening to this project. That's for sure.
Yeah,
and keep you on your toes in terms of sound and what to expect from him.
Where is oh, right here. So was that 17?
That's 18. I also have Bauer, Planets Mad on there.
Oh, I don't have that on my list. I think I missed that album.
For me, it's the best electronic album to come out this year.
Oh. Maybe. Let me look it up. The best electronic album?
For me.
I don't know. I didn't listen to it.
Throw that in the maybe. Sufjan Stevens.
That one I did hear. That electric. That was different.
Now,
I kind of fuck with. So that. Yeah, go ahead.
it's electronic, but it's surprising that it's electronic because he is not an electronic artist. He is very much a somber, kind of melancholic folk songwriter type of artist. And to hear him come out like this fully kind of electronic based sound for this album was very surprising. It almost kind of felt like the turn when Bon Iver took on his third album. And I fucked with it heavy, like heavily.
He was on Tay Tay's album too. I'm just
because he's a phenomenal songwriter, and he still has that like that somber melancholic feel to his songs and music, but now it's got like a different soundscape to it.
And I wasn't familiar with his past work. I only heard this new one, so like I got that sense of it, but I was like really brought in by that aspect of it because you don't hear electronic music that has this type of somber
yeah. So I'm telling you, like if you listen to like some of his older stuff, like you'd be like, oh, damn, like okay, you'd understand like a little more why this is such a big kind of turn and moment, is because this is not the type of artist that he's kind of known to be, but he did it because I think the story behind it was like he had like lost or left like some of his typical acoustic guitar and all that stuff like somewhere else, and so then he started producing this album on the computer basically, and like came out something that was fire. So for me, Sufjan Stevens is definitely on my list. The Ascension.
Okay.
He's definitely a songwriter for sure.
What up? All right. Oh, I just got a bunch. Ooh, there's so many. It's like which one? Who gets mentioned next?
Probably about like halfway, a little over halfway down my list. So then the rest is kind of iffy. So we go anywhere.
Yeah, there's a lot of names. So I'm just like, but that's what I mean. We said all the ones that I'm like, yeah, these are really good, like really, really good. Now I'm like, all right, the rest of these are dope too, but like they can be interchangeable. I mean, actually, kicking off with electronic, did Arca, was that on your list?
They were a maybe for me.
Okay, we'll keep them in maybe because there's a lot of names. So
I liked what they were doing. It was just also like so different that I was like, all right, I don't necessarily know what to do with all this. You know what I'm saying?
That's why, but they're nominated for a Grammy too. I think I might have picked them. I don't remember. I gotta find my list again.
You probably did, and yeah, they're maybe for me. They're maybe.
Yeah. Word up.
I don't know how you say his name. Khruangbin.
Nope. Not on my list.
They're a kind of retro throwback to like soul, 70s kind of soul music.
Oh.
Jazzy soul, like, and this is their first song that they have like, normally they're just kind of instrumental, but this time they have like actual vocals on a lot of the songs.
Yeah.
And they're definitely somewhere on my list, but it's not solidified.
Right.
Then I got a lot of indie like rock. I got like Perfume Genius, Set My Heart on Fire immediately. At Porge Radio. No, Porge Radio is for sure on my list. Every bad. They're for sure on my radio. On my list.
Okay. You got Porge Radio for sure on your list. All right. Well, then I'm gonna have to definitely put 070 Shake on my list. If we're doing
She on there.
definitely.
She's
If we
like,
doing definitely, I gotta put 070 on the list right now. Like we getting deep in here before the list is already 25. Let me go ahead and get 070 in here. One of my favorite albums from the top of the year for sure, and one that I still go back to. She killed it, and I'm just upset. Too bad her label didn't help.
this is what I was about to say. Look, it was a very, very good album. One I actually liked a lot when it came out. But it was so easy to forget because she got no push.
Yeah, there was no. I don't even think she did an interview.
Was
Like
there
I don't know.
music videos? Like what's going on? Like,
Yeah.
where was the rollout? Where was her
No more
performances? Where were her
videos of 070 like doing the whole like rollout for other people's stuff in the background of music videos.
where
Or
were
like,
her tiny desks? Like what like where was her rollout?
come on, you can just send those in now. Like, like
Like she got no push.
that's crazy. Yeah.
And that's a bigger conversation than what the fuck is going on over at Good Music. Like, like
I mean, I don't know. Is Sean still that good?
I don't know. He got no push either.
That's true.
And then look, it's not a bad album, it's not a great album, but it's not a bad album either. The fact that you got zero push, like zero, like after he dropped it, I heard nothing.
Yeah, that's kind
I
of weird.
saw nothing.
Because they did have some good stuff going on. Like there was kind of a concept he could have ran with if they pushed it a little bit harder, but
Detroit, the first Detroit's a great album. So then to have a Detroit 2, you'd think you would push it even more. Like, nope.
Yeah. I know it really went away. It like came in.
It was like a cliff. It fell off. Both of these albums fell off a cliff after like a week after they dropped.
Yeah. But that's why, yeah.
What the fuck is going on at Good Music, huh?
Kanye
West is going on,
ship,
huh?
man. He's sinking the shit. All right, so cool. 070 is on there. Yeah.
All right, we got 5 spots left here. I think we have what?
5 spots
3
left.
maybe?
Huh?
We have what, 3 maybes right now?
Well, an artist that I wanted to mention, because there's a couple people that you probably haven't heard of that I'm crazy. I'm just like, damn, that project was really fucking good. Skip Marley dropped an album called Higher Place, and that album was like really dope. And to be honest, I still listen to the titles on Higher Place and a couple other songs that are like super dope. It's just like it's just really dope. And like intros with like his dad talking a little bit. It was just really, really dope, reminiscent kind of album. And it's not that long either. It's almost like an extended EP, but it's a short album basically. But the vibes on that shit are fire. And I think it definitely deserves.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do.
A mention.
5 spots left. You're gonna pick your 2 for sures. I'm gonna pick my 2 for sures, and we're gonna debate the last one.
Oh, ooh. Let's see. Ooh, I got so many hitters on here. Ooh, over Skip Marley. Oh, I don't know. Because I haven't even mentioned a couple of people. There's like 2 albums that I feel like should be on there just because of respect, but then, like, because we haven't mentioned them, but I don't know, like, that's 2 spots already. And
Gotta make some choices here, Doc.
Can I even pick one of them?
Look, I'll throw on my 2 right now. Westside Gunn and Bauer.
Oh, okay, those are your 2 musts. Dang. That's crazy.
Because there's definitely some albums that I want on here that I'm just not seeing when I'm gonna move for them.
Yeah.
We do have an honorable mention list, so.
I'll bet. All right. Well, these niggas is going to honorable mention list. Dang. All right, man. I gotta go with Skip's probably gonna have to go in honorable mention then. I can't because I already came for Taylor's best writing, so I gotta put Taylor Swift in there. And honestly, I think one of the best like last albums from an artist in recent decades is Mac Miller's Circles. So I gotta put Taylor in Circles as my two musts.
Okay, he was a borderline for me, but okay.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said he was borderline, but looking back
I'm not
at the
mad at
album, it was a perfect album that like without the artist having to like be able to touch it like that, just came out really well done.
Now, for this last spot, it's gonna be very difficult.
Yep.
And for me, I have two that we haven't talked about. One is Jay Electronica, A Written Testimony.
Okay.
And the second is 21 Savage.
Oh, you're gonna debate Jay or 21 right now?
I mean, that's my two. I don't know what other you think. What do you think could make the last spot?
We got Jay or 21. Well, you haven't heard the Skip Marley album.
Mm-mm.
So you can't even. Did you hear the Avalanches album?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna put the Avalanches in there.
So it's between Avalanches, Jay Electronica, and 21 Savage.
Yep. Because I didn't want to keep it all rap. I was like, all right, look, let me mix it up because that was a dope album too.
Yeah. So
the Morgan Freeman narrative versus the
I'm not 21 Savage fan either. You know I'm not 21 Savage fan, but I had to text you when I heard the album. I said, look, bro, this is the best Metro Boomin production in a while, for one.
Yeah.
And he's actually saying some shit on here that I'm like,
damn, his enunciation was perfect. Mumble rap what? No, not 21. Oh my God.
Then there's the Jay Electronica thing where if this was just a Jay-Z album, it's a for sure.
Oh yeah.
He only gets a knock because
featuring Jay Electronica, it'd be on the list for sure.
This is only a knock because this is supposed to be your debut and it felt like a Jay-Z album.
Yeah.
So I'm judging it as a Jay Electronica album, which I still like a whole lot. And
Written Testimony is fire though. It is fire.
Universal Soldier.
It's fire. It's flames. Whenever that comes on, I know what time it is. Like it just feels like you feel it.
But again, my favorite part of that whole song is Jay-Z's part. So it's like it still feels like a Jay album. And I'm not sure if I should knock it for that because it's still.
There was only maybe one song where Elect really shined that Hov was still on. Other than that, it was like.
I mean.
I named my son Sir. Call my son Sir. He already died. He ain't even out his romper.
API-DTA. I'm like, man.
API-DTA. That's probably one of my favorite songs too. That was like a 444 throwaway.
Yes, it feels like look, it's a Jay-Z album. Like off top, this was Jay-Z. A Written Testimony is for sure. Like this is the top 5 like album of the year for me, probably. But the fact that it's Jay Electronica's debut album, it knocks it. Yeah. And the fact they put Shiny Suit Theory on there also kind of knocks it because that song was like 15 years old, you know. But goddamn, the rest of the songs are fire. So it's like
they're really good. Like. But that 21.
The 21, I think it just did more for the moment, like for the year.
Oh my God.
Because here's the thing, like musically across the board, I think all three are probably on equal par.
Yeah.
But in terms of impact, Jay Electronica's album did not have the impact that you would hope it would for a debut album from a long way to that person. True. 21 Savage had a huge impact, an unexpected impact.
Right.
for somebody.
For sure.
And
And gave him
Avalanche is, I don't know. I think they just kind of did what they normally do.
yeah, that's true.
But I'm also
But really
not
well.
like fully into that, lane where I know how everybody else is feeling about it.
Yeah. That's the album was just really well done to me. Like the way it was like sort of spacey and reminiscent and like had this whole like it was just really eerie but well done in the sort of like longing, the like ghost sort of like part one and two thing they had going and just like just the title, We Will Always Love You, like looking back on just like a relationship and just lives past. It was a deep album. That's the only reason I was just like, man, that album is like really deep, like and crazy. Even though it's not really, it doesn't feel like overbearing. It's still like deep as fuck. So I thought the album was dope. Um, but at the same time, oh my god, that I honestly that sucks. That well, honorable mention though. I think to be honest, 21 Savage's shit is the monologues are what get me over. I feel like he has to win because of the monologue.
The impact, bruh.
That Morgan Freeman snitching monologue,
Bitches and
bro.
rats, come on.
Man, that's like a moment. That's like a moment for everyone, like outside of hip hop. Just like that's like a Boondocks thing. Like like that felt like watching a cartoon, like on the radio, like hearing that shit back in the day.
Running, Mr. Right Now,
My dogs. That's
go
my
out from
dog.
behind, said and done. Look, man, I don't know, but
And he's got more songs on his album than Jay.
impact wise for me, it would have to go to 21.
I think Jay Leck might have to be in our honorable mention.
Yeah, which is crazy, but I think so.
That's kind of fucked up. Like that. Is that fucked up?
I mean, still top 30 probably, but 25 is a hard
Yeah.
list.
Yeah, that is a hard list. And we already said our piece at the top of the year when it came out anyway. So
There was a reason it's getting knocked, and it's not because necessarily the music, it's because of what it was supposed to be and what it was supposed to do.
Yeah. If he had maybe 3 more solo tracks on there.
Or if it was like the Jays, a written testimony.
Yeah, right. Presented differently.
Then you would approach it differently. But grading it off of just a Jay Electronica project, it's like, this is a Jay-Z project. Like, he took this over, like, and I'm not exaggerating. I think everybody kind of feels that way.
Yeah, for sure.
Even though I will go back and listen to it Bright Tonight because I'm talking about it, like, so it doesn't, but this is a list. So it's also like, you got to base it on impact and everything else.
Yeah. I can't hold you. That Morgan Freeman that blew my mind. When I was listening to that, that blew my mind. And then
I think 21 deserves the props for that. Like, I think he deserves props for what he did. I didn't expect him to do that.
I was shocked. It was so good. I was shocked.
I'm not a 21 fan, like, ever. I've never been a 21 fan.
I've been a 21 fan casually, just like because I like that vibe that he gives. That vibe that 21.
Like, and he got me to sit down and listen to a whole album of his. So,
man, yeah.
For me, it's like I gotta give the nod to 21. That's
tough.
My vote.
All right, I'm in agreement. I like 21. I like that pick because I love that. I listened to that. I was listening to that earlier. Chopped and Screwed. I was listening to Running and My Dog Chopped and Screwed earlier because that's, if you hear that slowed down, oh my god, woo!
All right, that's our 25.
That's crazy.
It's a wild 25.
I know. It's a lit 25.
Before we get out of here, we're going to try to do the impossible. And we're going to try to rank them.
Yeah.
So here's how I say we should do it. Do it in tiers. Like here's our tier 5 song albums. Here's 5 of our tier 5 albums. Rank those. Here's 5 of our tier 4 albums. Rank those. Here's 5 of our tier 3.
Yeah.
And so
we don't have to pick a number one. We just pick like 5 that are in our top 1, and then 5 that are.
Oh no, we're doing number one.
Oh, gotcha. There's a number 1 in each tier.
No, so it'll be 25, 24, 23, 22 to 20, and then that's tier 5. Gotcha. And then 19, 17 is tier 4,
Yep.
We're just going to break them out to tiers, and then we're going to rank the numbers out from there. So, all right. We got to group on tier 5. And for me, I would put Charlie XCX tier 5.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I would put Mac Miller tier 5.
Yep. I had him in my tier 5.
21, put tier 5.
Yeah.
Put Bauer tier 5.
Oh, that's the one I forgot to write down. I was like, who is that?
And for me, The Weeknd, I'm putting tier 5.
Ooh. Interesting.
Or no, for me, The Weeknd.
Interesting. I'm not mad at that. I enjoyed most of the album, but not like a crazy. All right. I'm not mad at that. Because we say that The Weeknd has done better before in his life. So,
but he's still top 25, man, out of a lot of albums. Like,
I know. I'm just like, damn, that's crazy. Like, he's in the 5. All right, in the bottom 5. Sorry, buddy. No offense, Abel.
I'd put XCX 25 probably.
Yeah. Definitely.
24 for me is Mac, and then here's my ranking. I'll do XCX, Mac, 21, Bauer, and then The Weeknd.
Well, I guess because I don't really know Bauer like that. So if you think he's above 21 shit, then that's cool.
I think it's one that, for me, it's the best electronic album there, probably.
Well, let's do Charlie, Bauer, Mac, 21, The Weeknd.
Bauer's above Mac.
All right, fine. So it goes Charlie, Mac, Bauer.
Then what? 21 The Weeknd?
Or do you want to do Weeknd 21?
Weeknd 21.
All right, I'm down. Just because the moment, that 21 shit was so crazy. So 21 is number 21. We did that. Did we do that on purpose? That's so crazy. 21 is number 21. Hey. That's tight.
All right. Tier 4 for me is Sufjan Stevens.
Yeah.
070.
Okay.
Uh, Phoebe.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Porge Radio.
Oh yeah.
Hmm. The last one's tough. I don't know.
The last one. Phoebe.
For me, Taylor or Yves?
Taylor.
All right.
Yeah, I was thinking Taylor. I was looking to see if there was somebody else I would put there. It's a good spot for her.
Sue Johns would be 20 for me.
Cool.
Phoebe or Taylor?
Phoebe would be 19, Taylor 18, then Porridge, and then 070? Or are you doing forward, or do you
I'll
want
do
Porridge?
Porge, then 070.
So Porridge, okay. 070. Yeah.
All right. Tier 3, Bad Bunny.
Cool. Bad Bunny. Yves
Des?
Tumor.
Yeah. Leo.
Lido. Benny.
See, now here's now here's the thing. They're all like one right after the other to me.
The top like 8 or 9 is like, I don't know really.
No, I'm specifically talking about Griselda.
Oh, so you want them just
They're basically all in a row to me.
That's crazy.
And I would actually put Halsey next or in tier 3 too.
So we got Bad Bunny, Yves Tumor, Lido, Halsey. Where did I write Halsey? Oh, way at the top. I had Halsey in a tier 2. Huh. Okay.
Now here's where Griselda would come in for me. So one of them is the bottom of the 3, but for me, they're going to go in a row. For me,
Westside's got to be at the bottom
why?
because he's got the most posse cut-ish one.
So we're knocking that?
I mean, we just knocked Jay for it. I mean, if we're gonna knock Jay for having one of the best Jay-Z albums, then I'm gonna knock
All right.
him for having one of the best Griselda albums.
All
Like,
right, all right, all right. West Side.
is Freddie on that album too? Like, Freddie's
no,
on that?
he's on all.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So look, he'll be tier 3.
That's no offense to the genius of West Side, but I thought Benny was my favorite rapper of Griselda until I heard West Side over and over again, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, he just kept catching bars, and like I was like, "Oh man, this nigga Conway is crazy."
I said, you keep listening to each one, you're gonna change your opinion based on what you listened to last. So it's like I don't really know how I feel about each one until
I'm putting Conway number 1. I mean, because he's the oldest. I'm putting Benny because Conway and West Side started Griselda, and Benny was the third. So technically, Benny's been doing it the least.
All right, so look, I'm good with that. That's tier 3. So I'm putting Bad Bunny at 15.
Okay.
Were you putting what? Were you putting?
Okay.
No, you're right. Actually, I put Lido at 15.
Yeah. All right.
I put Yves at 14.
That's what I was thinking. And then I could see Bad Bunny.
Then Bad Bunny's next for me.
We got between
Halsey at 12.
Oh, because it has to go in order.
The West Side.
Yep.
Word. Bet. So tier 2 off top is Benny and Conway.
Yeah. So now we got 3 more from the group there.
Tame.
Who?
Tame Impala.
Oh, yeah. Tame Impala. Let's do.
I would put
Haim.
Tier 2?
Well, I was just looking at the top, and I'm like, I don't know how to pick 5 for the top.
Tier 2? I could not put on tier 2.
Right. Wait, who do we have?
We got
3. So there's 2 more slots for the tier 2. Damn, but that's a lot of hitters up there now, man.
For me, I was putting Freddie tier 2. Because again,
all right,
great album, but Bandana was his better project.
But
in between that and King's Disease, I think King's Disease is better.
Didn't you pick Freddie's album over Nas's album in the Grammy?
No. First of all, I said Nas has yet to win a Grammy, which is fucking criminal. So off top, I'm going Nas no matter what. So no.
Yeah. All right, so 1 more, right? Ooh. Damn.
It's either
Fontaines.
I don't know.
It's gotta be. Are you gonna put the Fontaines over Saul or something?
Possibly.
I don't think so. I can't put that creativity of the hero's death over the content of Salt's project.
All right. I'll give that one to you. Just because Saul has 2 albums and they both slap. So that's why I'm giving it to you.
It's got more firepower, man. So Fontaine's it is?
Fontaine's it is.
All right.
But they're gonna be like number 6.
Yeah. No, yeah, for sure. I mean, it was hard to pick number 6. That's why I was like, I don't know, this is number 6.
So 10 is Benny.
So I'll just put 6 for Fontaine.
9 is Conway. For me, 8 is Freddie, and then 7 is Tane.
Wow. I fuck with that, but that's funny. I'm not even mad at that, to be honest. Excuse me. All right. So Tane's 7. And Freddie Gibbs 8. Ooh. Sorry, Freddie.
All right. So here's
Are we gonna rank the number 1 album of the year?
It's a tough one.
Ooh. So we got, all right, tier 1s obviously is King's Disease. We got Salt. We got
Kia,
Fiona,
Apple, and Hun.
And Hein. Oh, who's number 5?
Salt for me.
Salt for number 5. And then I like his vocals better. That's definitely.
Then who?
I don't know what to say. I'm just like, but it kind of would have to be.
Wait, hold on. Let's erase that Salt again. I'm trying to think of Salt's album again.
Dog, Salt's album is fire. That's like, I'm telling you, when you're trying to put it in tier 2, I was like, well, no, definitely not that. But the problem here is where to put Kia and Haim.
Haim is a top 3 album for me.
I'm trying to keep it in the top 3, but Kia kind of wants to be number 3. Kia wants to be number 3, but Kia should be 4. But she wants to be number 3.
I mean, Nas doesn't have to be top 3 for me.
Doesn't?
In this lineup?
I mean, this lineup is nuts.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's, I don't know.
Damn. Salt's album is fire. Nah, we'll keep Salt at 5.
You sure? Because
I'm not sure.
Here's my top 3 for sure. Probably. Look, Fiona, Apple, and Haim are top 3 for me. Like, they're not moving from top 3. Now, Nas King's Disease is very, very good.
It is.
But does it impact you as much as Kia or Salt?
In a way, it's tough. That's really tough. Once you get in this top 5, it's just like, I don't know. The impacts are all different. They all hit different. That's one of the best albums of the year, man. Like, I mean, well, all of these are the one of the best albums of the year. That's tough. That's tough. That Kia had some shit on there that surprised me though, like a lot. That's kind of like Nas centric too, though. That's like, I don't know.
Hold on, let me throw this.
I'll have to put Nas over Kia.
Okay. And also, I think Kia and Salt are kind of in that same lane a little bit in terms of what they were putting out at the time.
Yeah.
And their purpose for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to give the nod to Salt because they put out 2 albums that are both fire.
Yeah. Like really good. Like not your typical approach to albums either. Like that it's just like, I don't know. It was nice. It was really nice. Like they don't do just the sequencing, the way they were like playing with, just talking and singing and other things in there. It's just dope. The chants.
So Kia 5.
Ooh. Kia, Salt, Nas.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Haim, Fiona. Or Kia, Salt, Haim, Nas, Fiona.
Kia Salt for sure. I've been trying to find a reason not to put Fiona at number 1, but I literally can't think of a reason not to put her at number 1.
I mean, she did what she was doing. That's all I can say. She did that. As an artist, that's like what you call a masterpiece. That's a piece of art. So
and while Nas was very well received, I don't think across the board people still found some faults with it.
Yeah. A few bars were a little too current to age well.
But then I heard like Full Circle, and it's like you got the firm back together, and that shit's fire.
Yeah, dog, that's stupid. That whole song is stupid. The firm alone, that alone should make it number 1 because of the firm got back together. Like that was shocking. But so yeah, I think maybe we do. I think it's Haim, Nas, Fiona.
Ooh.
You know it too. Or like, or are we gonna put Nas number 1? I don't think.
I don't know. No, but then Haim is fire as fuck.
Haim is fire. I just think it is really good. Haim is really.
3 a.m. is a vibe. Like, I don't know, bro. Like,
front to back, that shit is lit. I'm still leaning towards Fiona.
Fiona's probably gonna be number 1. No, she's number 1. She just did shit. Especially when you think of like 2020 as a whole and like what represents 2020 the most musically for me, it's Fiona.
Yeah, exactly. Like the do-it-yourself attitude, like and then just the stripped back nature, the experimentation, content, all of it was there.
All right.
Really good project. I just think it's such like, I'm an artist. Like it's such a well-contained body of work that it's insane.
All right. Haim 3. Nas 2, Fiona 1. Nas is getting the nod because he brought the firm back together, and that song was fire and off top.
Facts.
And that Lil Durk out song was fire too. Like you just don't expect him to
Yeah,
go that
no,
route.
that's tight. That's a pretty good list. What a weird year for music.
All right, we did it. We managed to rank all of these 25-1 our first time.
Without arguing that much this time.
We normally don't do it because it's very hard to do.
I'm
It's
surprised
very
that
hard to
one.
do. Even now, still have some doubts about placement, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.
I think these 25 albums represent the best that came out in 2020 across genres outside of probably country. But other
Right.
than that, you know,
And metal.
dude, like you said, it was a weird year for music. There's not a ton of huge, big hit, big name albums and artists that came out that delivered. And then there was a lot of artists that ran away from the year. But what we did get was a lot of under the radar, up and coming indie type DIY bands and artists, musicians, and they delivered fully. And if you look at our list, you can see that from front to back. It's full of a lot of smaller names, a lot of indie music, a lot of indie musicians. And I think this was definitely their year. And yeah, these are 25 favorite. Well, let me scratch that. These are the 25 best albums of the year. And, if you agree, if you disagree, let us know in the comments down below. You think there's any albums that we didn't talk about that we missed out on? Let us also know in the comments down below. There's a very high chance that it is probably on our list. We just didn't get around to talking about it because there's so many albums on our list.
A lot of people I didn't get to mention.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we did not get to mention. But if you go check out the official list, which will be up on the site when this goes up, you will see that there are also a list of honorable mentions that we'll throw up before the actual list. And then you can actually go through and check out every single project that we have ranked from 25 to 1 for the very first time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 2020. That's it. We're going to put a bow on it. Last time we're going to talk about 2020. We're Monster Future. There's a lot of stuff that is coming up this year. Specifically musically, and that we're going to talk about too in our next time. We're not going to get around to it because we want to keep this going on forever, but we will get back to talking about our expectations for this year in terms of music, particularly Lil Drake, Lil Kendrick, we think's going to come, yada, yada, yada. If you enjoy these podcasts, as always, subscribe. We are available on pretty much every platform that you can listen to a podcast on, or you can go to the official site. You'll see a big subscribe to podcast button where you can follow us wherever we are and wherever you are. If you have any topic suggestions, questions, or comments about this episode, past episodes, or any future episodes, let us know in the comments down below. And yeah, thank you for joining us. We managed to get our top 25 albums of the year out for 2020.
We did it. We made it happen. Top 25 LLF 2020 albums. Stay tuned. And like always, y'all, keep living life fearless. Peace.